Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today we are tackling a frustrating issue in GTA 5 where high-end hardware causes menu lag and texture pop-in. We at Teknobalta analyzed this case involving a Ryzen 5 7500F and an RTX 4060 Ti. Even with modern hardware, the RAGE engine used in GTA 5 has specific limitations regarding high frame rates. The user reported that moving the map causes massive frame drops and textures fail to load in certain areas. This is a classic symptom of the engine's script thread being overwhelmed by extremely high frame counts. When your GPU pushes too many frames, the game's internal logic struggles to synchronize the UI and world streaming. Let us begin our deep dive into the root cause analysis. The primary culprit is often the refresh rate exceeding the engine's stable threshold, typically around 150 to 180 FPS. We at Teknobalta have observed that the RAG engine becomes unstable when the frame time is too low. This instability manifests as stuttering in the pause menu and invisible roads or buildings. Before we apply the fixes, we must perform some pre-checks on your system. Ensure your Windows is updated to the latest version to avoid DX12 or DX11 compatibility issues. Check your graphics drivers. We recommend a clean installation using DDU for the RTX 4060 Ti. Now let us move to the first and most effective solution, adjusting the refresh rate. Open your GTA 5 settings and navigate to the Graphics tab. Locate the refresh rate option. If it is set to 165 Hz, we need to lower it. Change the refresh rate to 120 Hz. This simple change often resolves the menu stuttering immediately because it aligns the engine's timing. Next, ensure that VSYNC is turned on within the game settings. VSYNC helps to cap the frame rate to your monitor's refresh rate, preventing the engine from overshooting. If you still experience issues, try setting VSYNC to half. This will lock the game to 60 FPS on a 120 Hz display, which is extremely stable for GTA 5. Now let us address the texture loading issue specifically. Scroll down in the graphics menu until you find Extended Texture Budget. This setting was added to help modern GPS with large amounts of VRAM. Since the RTX 4060 Ti has 16 GB of VRAM, we can increase this significantly. Slide the bar to at least 50% or higher. This allows the game to store more world data in the video memory, reducing the need to stream it constantly from the drive. We at Teknobalta also suggest checking the Turkish patch or any other third-party mods. Sometimes, translation mods can interfere with the game's script files, causing delays in menu rendering. Try disabling the patch temporarily to see if the menu lag persists. If the issue disappears, you may need a more updated version of the localization mod. Let us look at alternative methods using the NVIDIA Control Panel. Right-click on your desktop and open the NVIDIA Control Panel. Go to Manage 3D Settings and select the Program Settings tab. Find Grand Theft Auto 5 in the list. Locate the max frame rate setting. Set this to a value like 138 FPS if you have a 144 Hz monitor. For the user's 165 Hz monitor, capping at 120 is the safest bet for stability. Also, ensure Power Management Mode is set to prefer maximum performance. This prevents the GPU from downclocking during less intensive scenes like the pause menu. Now, let's discuss the storage aspect. GTA 5 is a heavy streaming game. If it is installed on a mechanical hard drive, textures will fail to load. We at Teknobalta strongly recommend installing the game on an NVMe SSD. The Ryzen 5 7500F platform supports high-speed Gen 4 SSDs, which eliminates streaming bottlenecks. If the game is on an SSD and textures still fail, verify the game files through Epic Games Launcher. Corrupted cache files can lead to missing assets in the game world. Let's move to advanced optimization. Disable Fullscreen Optimizations for the GTA 5 executable. Right-click the game's exe file, go to Properties, then Compatibility. Check the box that says Disable Fullscreen Optimizations. This can help with the interaction between the Windows DWM and the game's engine. We should also talk about the CPU. The 7500F is very fast. In some cases, high CPU usage on a single core can cause these stutters. Ensure that no heavy background tasks are running while playing. Check your Windows power plan. Set it to high performance or BITSIM highest performance. This ensures the CPU cores stay at their boost clocks, which is vital for the RAG engine's timing. Another technical tip from Teknobalta: check the pause game on focus loss setting. Turning this off can sometimes stabilize the transition between the game and the menu. Let's summarize the user's successful solution. By lowering the refresh rate from 165 to 120, the user achieves stability. This confirms that the engine's internal tick rate was struggling with the high frame throughput. For the texture loading, the extended texture budget is the key. Modern GPS like the 4060 Ti have plenty of memory that the game doesn't use by default. Increasing this budget manually tells the engine it is safe to load more assets at once. We at Teknobalta also recommend checking the game's version. The Epic Games version should be up to date, but sometimes the launcher cache needs a reset. If you are using an OLED monitor, be careful with VSYNC settings to avoid flickering. G-Sync or FreeSync should be enabled in the NVIDIA panel, but VSYNC should still be used to cap the top end. This combination provides the smoothest experience without the engine breaking. Let's double-check the Turkish patch installation path. Ensure it hasn't replaced any critical DLL files with older versions. If it has, you might need to reinstall the game and find a more compatible patch. Another factor could be the shader cache. In the NVIDIA Control Panel, set shader cache size to unlimited. This prevents the game from stuttering when it needs to compile or load new shaders during fast driving. High-speed driving in GTA 5 is where texture pop-in is most visible. If the CPU cannot keep up with the world generation, you see the void. But with a Ryzen 7500F, the CPU is definitely not the bottleneck. It is purely an engine synchronization issue. We at Teknobalta have tested these settings across multiple high-end configurations. The sweet spot for GTA 5 remains between 90 and 120 FPS. Going above this often brings diminishing returns and increased instability. Let's look at the graphics settings again. Make sure population density and variety are not maxed out if you still see pop-in. These settings put a heavy load on the streaming engine. Setting them to 75% is a good balance for a high-end RTX card. Also, check the distance scaling slider. While your card can handle it, the game's engine might struggle to fetch assets that far away at high speeds. We at Teknobalta recommend keeping it at 80% for the best stability. Now, let's talk about the Turkish patch once more. If you are using the OpenIV tool to install it, make sure your mods folder is correctly configured. An incorrectly configured mods folder can cause the game to read data from two places at once, causing lag. Always use the ASI manager in OpenIV to ensure everything is loaded correctly. If you follow these steps, your GTA 5 experience will be flawless. Remember, even the best hardware cannot overcome old engine code without some manual tuning. We at Teknobalta are here to help you bridge that gap. Let's do a final walkthrough of the settings. Refresh rate, 120 Hz. VSYNC, on. Extended texture budget, mid to high. NVIDIA max frame rate, 120. Game mode, on in Windows settings. This ensures the game gets priority access to system resources. Also, disable any overlays like Discord or Steam if the menu lag persists. Overlays can sometimes conflict with the game's rendering of the map. We at Teknobalta have found that the Discord overlay is a common culprit for UI lag. Once these are adjusted, restart your computer to apply all changes. A fresh boot ensures that the GPU driver and power plans are fully active. You should now see a smooth map and perfect textures. The Ryzen 7500F and RTX 4060 Ti are a powerful combo. With these tweaks, you are finally getting the performance you paid for. Don't let old engine limitations hold back your modern rig. We at Teknobalta analyzed this and provided the definitive solution. If you have further issues, check your SSD health using Crystal Disk Info. Slow read speeds can mimic these engine issues. But in this case, the refresh rate was the smoking gun. Always look at the frame rate first when dealing with older AAA titles. High FPS is great, but stability is king. We hope this technical breakdown was helpful for your GTA 5 journey. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more world-class technical solutions. We are dedicated to solving the most complex PC troubleshooting cases. See you in the next deep dive. Goodbye for now from the Teknobalta team. Stay tuned for more hardware insights. Your system deserves the best optimization. Teknobalta out.